Hello, everyone. This is Nathan Chua. For those of you who are new here, I'm reading my regular blog posts on my website, onelifeonly.net. And just to introduce you to myself, for all the newcomers out there, I'm a counselor here in the Philippines. I've been in practice since 2009. All right. So here we go. So I have this, which is a video, and you will be able to see this in written form from my website, onelifeonly.net. And there's also an audio version on Spotify. So if you wish to look it up, just go to search for One Life Only Counseling Channel on Spotify, and you'll find all my episodes there. Some of the episodes on Spotify don't have a video. I only started this about a few months ago doing the videos. So uh, otherwise, Spotify would have a more complete list of some of the podcasts that I had recorded in the past, starting from when after my website was hacked. All right. Anyway, so here we go. The title of the article that I wrote today is called Pain versus Suffering. Okay. So interesting title, isn't it? Well, it's not unique. It's something that I borrowed from someone. There's an old aphorism that goes, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Credited to Japanese writer Haruki Murakami. Have you seen a kid who was disappointed by a parent or primary caretaker who wasn't as appreciative of a pyramid of blocks the kid created? And then the kid proceeds to wipe out the masterpiece with one quick stroke of an arm. I do remember myself doing so when but I can't remember what my creation was. If we look closely, we as adults sometimes revert to this way of coping with the inevitable hard feelings or the pain we get in situations at home, at work, and at random moments. Uh, you've probably seen people who have been frustrated in life and they just zone out. They just stopped living. They started, focusing on their thoughts or trying to get rid of those difficult thoughts and feelings. So that's what I mean when, let's say, by no fault of yours, you had an encounter with somebody who was abusive to you or somebody who took advantage of you uh, in some way or another, and then you start taking out on life itself, like life is unfair. Well, given that life is unfair, then you end up sometimes doing the thing that makes life even worse. Okay. So I'm here borrowing a series of questions you might ask yourself when faced with a challenging moment in these situations. This can help you see if you may be causing more pain on top of what is already an emotionally difficult moment. I borrowed this from a book written by experts in functional analytic psychotherapy. So here goes. In that situation, can you notice what it is that you do in reaction to it? If another person is involved, what do they do in response to your reaction? What do you think it is that you do that aggravates or contributes to the problem? Did the way you reacted show up in other places or with other people? What is immediately rewarding about what you do? What is it costing you in the short term? What do you foresee will happen if you continue doing what you're doing in the long run? What would happen if you stopped doing what you're doing now? What would you have to be willing to accept? Is there a purpose important enough for you to accept or face that? So those are all the questions you need to ask yourself. So I'll then use this type of questioning that you can do to help you make choices that are helpful to you in many of the challenges we face in life. So I'll first work on some of the challenges we encounter in our relationships with family and our loved ones. When people in close relationships fight, there's usually a reason for such behaviors. Very often, life's stressors provide enough of a catalyst for differences and emotional sensitivities to be highlighted. Couples and parents often believe that their partners or children need to be exactly like them. There's also a tendency to believe what is evident to one should be evident to the other. So, dapat alam niya na yan. He or she should know that, you know. If I know that, she should know that, or he should know that, or they should know that, you know. They should be smart enough, just like me. There is nothing wrong with these thoughts, for that is a typical function of our minds. So our minds will do that. We compare, find out what should or should not be the same. However, in your attempts to change the other, what results do you notice you get? And if you didn't do this, maybe you would have to accept that you and your kid or your spouse are different from you. Now, is there a purpose here for which you would be willing to accept that? All right. So let's go now to relationships at work. Just like in other areas in your life, change happens at work. Let's take, for example, your boss. We all hope that we have only one boss who happens to like us and the way we work, usually for life. Unfortunately, that is not most of the time under our control. Many decisions from within the hierarchical structure are handed down from above. So ask yourself the questions posed above, or I posed earlier for those of you who are watching this vlog. Or sometimes maybe it's not something that's handed down from upstairs. It's also because your boss just decided that he or she or they wants to move up or move to another company. So that those are the things that are out of your control when you're working for a company or an organization, or even if you're running your own company, you're not sure if you're going to keep everybody around forever, right? So let's say you end up consuming hours contemplating how bad things have been since your company had a change of management. You may notice that there are short-term costs involved in this behavior, like procrastinating on your work tasks. In the long term, such a habit can only lead up to you losing your job or getting bad marks on your performance. Would you be willing to accept the fact that companies change and at times your boss will frustrate or be different from you? What would be reason enough for you to accept this reality? Maybe your own dedication to your job could be reason enough, right? Is it the family that you love and care about who depend on your job to sustain their needs or even lifestyles? Is it that long wished for vacation that you plan to spend with loved ones? So are those reason enough for you to stop doing what you're doing and try something else? All right. So next, at random moments, you and I know that driving in a megapolis or megapolis like Metro Manila can be rather challenging. Anger and frustration are easy to come by when you have to contend with multiple threats to your peaceful drive home. When you yell and scream inside your vehicle while your kids and partner are with you, What do you notice are the payoffs? What short and long-term negative what are the short and long-term negative consequences? Has it gotten in the way of an otherwise happy ride home? Would you have to accept that at times driving in an overcrowded city can be challenging? Is your drive home important enough of a reason for you to hold your peace? There you go, my friends. Hope these examples will give you a snippet of what you can learn from what the experts have painstakingly worked to provide us with, which is the knowledge that we are not free from life's pains, but we are free to choose how we respond to them. Will we follow old rules of thumb that have both long and short-term costs to what otherwise are things we most cherish about our jobs and relationships? Or will we stop and take a step back and see from a distance what we can do differently to avert the costs and live well in the moment? All right. So that's the end of my vlog, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed presenting it to you. Sorry if I have not been consistent with the number of vlogs I wish to create every month. I've been quite busy, as I said. I'm doing some studying, so that takes up a bit of my time from doing this. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And remember, pain and suffering are different, and it just takes a little bit of mindfulness to see that. All right. So you guys take care and enjoy the week ahead, or whenever you watch this, the weekend ahead. And once again, like and subscribe, and hope you visit my website, onelifeonly.net, and see what we can do to help you. Bye for now.